Okay, I'm gonna give you a review on this Honeywell Smart Series. As you can see, this is the manual right here, but you have the RTH6500WF and you have the 6580. They're the same. They just have a different series, Smart Series number. But I've had this thing for going on, I think 10 months. I got it in February and it's November now, so 9 or 10 months. But this thing is awesome. For the price, you can't beat it. If you want to save money, it's easy to install, easy to program. But one thing, let me give you the disadvantages that I don't care about this. And it's not too many of them. The first one is this light. You see the light, if you hit a button and it only stays on for like 6 seconds and it go off. And after 6 seconds, you really can't see nothing. So you really have to try to, I'm gonna zoom in to just show you. You see right there, you got the back. But once you hit it, I'm gonna go back, it stays on for 6 seconds. And I don't like that part right there. I wish it had a little light, a button that you can hit to keep the light on and for as long as you want, and then hit it again to turn it off. But you have to see anything, you have to hit a button to bring it on. Like I said, you either click that button or any button, it stays on. Another disadvantage, like I had a problem a couple of days ago. My router for here in my house for my Wi-Fi went out. And what happened, my system functions went out and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to read the manual. And so what I did, I called the customer service. I was on hold for about 10 or 15 minutes, but you can hit an option to have them to call you back. So I did that option to have them to call me back. And it took them a couple hours to get back with me. Maybe it was just that day. This is the first time I ever tried calling them. But they also have a thing on the website to where you can type in and speak to somebody on a live chat. I haven't tried that one yet. But another thing you want to do before you install this, make sure your C wire is connected up in your furnace. And your C wire, it comes with instructions on how to do it. What it is, the C wire, you need that because you have to send 24 volts AC to your thermostat. You know, I had the battery operated one, so I was using DC volts. So my wire was disconnected. If you can look at my video, it'll either be in the description or in the drop down on how to install it. But what I had to do is go to my furnace and just jumper the blue wire or whatever. My wire was blue, but they call it the C wire. I had to jumper it across in my furnace to get my 24 volts AC to my thermostat. And you got to have that C wire connected in order to get power to this thing, especially if you had that battery operated. But other than that, that's the disadvantages. But all the other things I have for this is the advantages. You have the apps, you have that app 72, and you have the ease of setting this thing up. You can use it anywhere. You could be anywhere in the world. If you got Wi-Fi connection, like we were in Mexico, we can change our thermostat for Mexico, or if I'm Jamaica, wherever. So we got control of all of that. And another function is that function 12, the manual auto changeover. I think that's very good. It's on page 17. That means that you can set it on automatic and it would sense the temperature that your house is, and it'll automatically change over from heat to cooling. And in Houston, you never know. It may be 50 degrees one day, the next day it may be 80. So you don't know when to turn your AC on or your heat. So this will automatically do it. And I'm gonna show you, we're gonna go through the process of setting that. One thing you need to have, make sure you keep this manual. This manual is very important. It have all your functions, your different functions, and you will also need to connect to the Wi-Fi. You will need your MAC ID number. So you would need that number. And before you set this up, make sure you go in your manual and you write down your Wi-Fi information so you won't be going back and forth. So write down your Wi-Fi information. But what I want to show you here is on page number 18. It talk about setting the system functions. So it comes from the manufacturer already set with function 1 and 0. That's for heating, cooling, for gas, oil, electric heating with central air. That's what I have. So I didn't have to go through the functions and set this up. But as you can read through here, and I'm gonna display this to you in case you lose your manual. And function 2 is just for heating and pumping exchange valves. And number 3 is for heating and fan control. And I highlighted a few things that we're gonna go through that will help you. And number 5 is heating cycle range. And number 6, heating cycle range 2. And number 12, the manual auto changeover. I think that's very good. It's on page 17. That means that you could set it on automatic and it will sense the temperature that your house is, and it'll automatically change over from heat to cooling. And in Houston, you never know. It may be 50 degrees one day, the next day it may be 80. So you don't know when to turn your AC on or your heat. So this will automatically do it. And I'm gonna show you, we're gonna go through the process of setting that. Right now, mine is set for 12 and 0, the manual changeover, just heat, cool, and off. Let me show you right here. You see it's on heat right there. I push it again, it go off and cool. So it just have heat, off, and cool. But we're gonna go through the process of setting it to where it has automatic. And that's right here at number 12. We gotta put it on 12 and change that to 1. And we're gonna go through that on how to do that. And number 13 is the smart response technology. And right now, mine is on. That means if you got your temperature set, say for heating, in the morning you want it to be at 70 degrees, it will sense how long it takes to get to 70 degrees from your house. So it may come on 10 minutes before that, if it recognizes that it takes 10 minutes before it heats up to 70 degrees at 6 o'clock. So at 6 o'clock a.m., it would come on probably at 5:50. So that's what that smart response is. So you could turn that on and off. And number 14 is for Fahrenheit and Celsius, which I use Fahrenheit. If you're over in Canada, UK, you may want to change that to number 1, which is your Celsius. Then you got your schedule options. Mine's set for 16 and 1. So that's the program, 7 days a week. And you can turn that off. And then you have your device that's already set up. It's number 36. You got your thermostat. Mine's 52. Then you can turn your Wi-Fi on and off, which mine is on 1. The Wi-Fi is on and can be connected to the Wi-Fi network. If you want to disconnect it, just turn it to 0. So that'll turn it off if you don't want to control it with your phone. And number 39 is Wi-Fi connection. And mine is set for 1. It's connected to the Wi-Fi network. This is set automatically when the thermostat is connected to the Wi-Fi. If you want to turn it off, set it to 0. It'll disconnect it from the network. And I got number 42 highlighted. It shows the period and day of the week. And mine do not show on my thermostat on the home page, but if you want to, you just change that 42 and then move the arrow up or down to 0 or 1. You can put it on 1. It'll show it on the display screen right here. But number 42 show the period, the days of the week. And I don't display mine on my home screen. It's just a lot of stuff on there, as you can see. I don't want it displayed up here, but you can. You just have to change that 0 to 1. And then number 85 is the restore schedule defaults. So you can, if it's on 0, it'll continue using the programmed schedule that you have. If you don't want that, you go to 85 and put it to 1. It'll restore to the thermostat program to the energy saving mode settings. And number 90, be careful with this. You come to 90, you set it on 1, it's going to disconnect the thermostat from the Wi-Fi and restore original settings, erasing everything. So then you will have to go through the process again of setting up your Wi-Fi. So let's do a few of these right quick. I'm going to just hit a button so you can turn the light on. And to get to the schedule, you hit the fan and the up button. Hold it for 3 seconds. As you can see, it has a 1. That means the big 1 is a system setting type. And mine's set for 0. And you can go up, you see, to 1. 1 will be for heat pump. You go up to 2. You can change it to heat only, but I'm gonna go back to 0. So that's how you change it up and down, just by these arrow buttons. Then you can hit the next button to go to number 2. Let's see, 2 is heat pump exchange valve, which I don't have one. Let's go back. See, it skipped from 1 to 3, heat fan control. So you hit next. And we're gonna go to next is 5. Remember I showed you that right there. 5 is a heat cycle rating. We're not gonna mess with that. We're gonna skip. It skipped 6, it jumped to 12. This is the one I wanted to discuss with you. It's the manual auto exchange. Like it'll automatically switch over from heat to cool. And right now, mine is turned to 0. You remember I showed you before? It just had heat, cool, and off. Now I'm gonna change it to 1. You see, I've just moved the arrow key, and 1 on number 12, that's gonna automatically set it up. So I'm gonna just leave it at 1. Then we're gonna go to the next one. It's 13. 13 is a smart response we talked about. So that is on. It responds to how long it takes for a certain amount of time, just like I talked to you before. If you got it set for 70 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning, it'll come on 10 or 15 minutes before that if it takes it that long to heat up to that temperature. So mine is on, as you can see, 1. The next one is 14. Mine is set for 0. It's Fahrenheit. So if you want to set it for Celsius, just move that up to 1 and it'll be Celsius. So I'm gonna set mine back to Fahrenheit. And the next is 16. That's your schedule option. Like I said, mine's set for 1 for programming 7 days a week. Then you have 36. Like I told you, that's the device. Mine's 52. You see I got it highlighted there. It's thermostat. Next one is 38. It's your Wi-Fi off and on. We're not gonna deal with that. 38. Like if you want to turn it off, mine should be set for 1. And the next one would be 39, which is 1. And number 42, mine set for 0. That's a period and day are shown on the home screen. So mine set for 0 on number 42. So mine is not shown. The period is not shown. If I want it to show on my thermostat, I'm gonna go ahead and change it to 1 just to show you. I'm gonna change that to 1. The next setting would be 85. And 85 is your restore schedule. Mine is on 0 because I want to continue using programmable schedule. This one you have to be careful. You don't want to change that to 1. If you change that to 1, what it's gonna do is gonna erase everything. So you'll start all over from scratch and to program it. So that's all to it. So we're gonna go back. When you finish, just hit done, or you can go back to other settings, see how you can go back. Or if you finish with everything, hit done. You remember before, it showed right here, heat. Watch, you got auto now, you see, and off and cool. So you got 4 settings. You got cool, heat, auto, and off. So if I want to set it on the auto, now I don't have to be going back and forth changing my thermostat whenever the heat, you don't understand the temperature if it goes up or down. So the auto, I really like this. So I won't have to be going back and forth turning my AC and my heat on. All right, this is on my iPhone. This app right here is 72 TCC. Just click it and it's connected. And you see, you can name these upstairs. I got mine. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see it. You got your downstairs and you have your upstairs. And you click on it. We're gonna do the downstairs. It shows right now in my house it's 74 degrees. And I don't know if you can see this very hard with this light, but it'll tell you if your system is running or not. Let me zoom in. See, my system is not running right now. If it was running cool, it'll have like a little blue spot right there, look like a snowflake. If the heat is on, it'll have a red dot right there. So I'm gonna zoom out. Let's go right here and we're gonna bring it down to 70. We know it's 74 in the house, so we're gonna bring it down to 73 and hit submit. We're gonna hit up here thermostat. As you can see, I'm gonna zoom in. You see right there, it has that blue. That lets me know it's running. So I know this AC unit is on. And if I turn it up right here, if I bring this up, or I can do it right here, or I can do it on my app, I can bring it up to maybe 80, and it'll bring on my heater. So I'm gonna show you some of these functions right here. We're gonna go back. We're gonna hit the downstairs. Like I said, it's running right now. I'm gonna click on that. And you could change it up or down. I'm gonna change it back. Hit submit. Okay, down here at the bottom, you have your home, then you have your system, you have your fan, and I have my thing set on auto. So we're gonna hit system. You see what it show right there, your system. I got auto, or I can just turn it to heat or cool, or I could turn the whole thing off right there. Okay, and then you have your fan, and you want your fan on auto. If you put it on, it's gonna continue to run all day. So you want that on auto. Then you have your schedule in here. You click on this at the bottom. The heat will come on at 71. If it drops below, gets at 71 or below 71, my heat would automatically come on. And if it get over 74 degrees in the house, my AC will come on to cool it back down. So I just got two periods set up. I got one at 6 a.m. and the other one is at 10 p.m. So that's how the auto work. And if you look at it, I'm gonna zoom in. If you read the manual, say for instance I try to change this, it got to be at least 3 degrees apart. So that's 71. So if I try to drop this down right here, I'm gonna click on it. Say for instance I try to drop this down to 73. This gonna drop down to 69 automatically, watch. Or it's drop down to 70, I'm sorry. So that's 73 and 70. So if I go to 72, it go to 69. But if I go up, it won't do that. So I'm gonna change it back to 74, and I'm gonna bring this up to 71. If I bring that up to 72, that's gonna jump to 75. You see that? So that's how this system right here work. And I'm gonna just go back. I'm gonna hit leave. And they got another cool feature on here. Also, if you look down here, it's called the marketplace. But we got the marketplace. what it is, this is I think it says it's free, but what you can do is to help cut your costs. They will monitor this for you. So they will look at the weather. They say, hey, a cold front is coming in. So they adjust your thermostat to get ready for this cold front. So they're watching the news and everything. I'm gonna click on it. You can hit enroll, and then you go through and I'm not gonna enroll. You know, I'm gonna just hit it and just show you what it looks like. All right, if this video helped, subscribe to my channel, and thank you and have a great day.